Hi, I am Jamir. Today, we are going to talk about how students should behave professionally in different scenarios. So let's start on scenario 1. Let's talk about Emma's situation, one that many students might quietly relate to. She's in a high school where cheating has become a normal part of her classmates' behavior. They share answers, help each other dishonesty on assignments, and even though the teacher is strict, the cheating is done subtly enough to go unnoticed. Now, Emma is in a tough spot. She wants to stay true to her values and keep her academic integrity. But at the same time, she feels pressure to conform, to be accepted, to avoid being left out or judged. So, what should Emma do? And what's the right way to think about this? Let's start with question number 1. What ethical standards should Emma uphold? The most important ethical standard in this situation is academic honesty. This means doing your own work, refusing to cheat, and holding yourself accountable for your learning. Academic honesty isn't just about following rules. It's about developing character, being trustworthy, and respecting the efforts of others. When someone cheats, they're not only lying to the teacher or the school, they're also undermining their own growth. They skip the process of learning and take credit they didn't learn. Emma also needs to think about fairness. When others cheat, and she doesn't, they might get better grades. But it's not a level of playing field. That can feel frustrating and unfair. Still, it's important for Emma to understand that short-term unfairness is better than long-term dishonesty. The grades might matter now, but her integrity will shape who she becomes for beyond high school. Now for question number 2. Should Emma conform to her peers cheating or stand to her ground? This is where the pressure really kicks in. Socially, it might seem easier to go along with the group. If Emma chooses to conform, she could keep her friendships, avoid awkward conversations, and maintain a sense of belonging. But at what cost? If Emma conforms, she would most likely be engaging in compliance. That's when someone goes along with the behavior, not because they truly believe it's right, but because they want to fit in or avoid conflict. In this case, Emma doesn't believe cheating is right. She's just feeling pressured by her environment. She isn't internalizing the behavior, which would mean truly believing that cheating is okay. And she likely doesn't identify strongly with the group's values either. She's not trying to become like them. She is just uncomfortable being different. So, moving into question number 3. Why would Emma conform if she does? Most likely, the reason would be a desire for acceptance, compliance. Emma is in a school setting where social groups matter. No one wants to be the one who's left out or labeled as too serious or goofy two shoes. She may worry that if she doesn't go along with the group, she'll be excluded from social circles or group work in the future. That's a real concern, and it shows just how powerful peer pressure can be, especially in environments where dishonesty is normalized. But it's also where inner strength becomes essential. Emma has to ask herself, is temporary acceptance worth sacrificing my values? Most of the time, the answer is no. And earn respect from the right people, even if not the right way. Finally, question number 4. If Emma decides to speak up, what conflict management style should she use? The most effective approach would be collaborating. This style focuses on open communication and mutual respect. Emma doesn't need to accuse her classmate or report. Instead, she can have an honest conversation with 1 or 2 people she trusts. She might say something like, I have noticed a lot of people sharing answers lately, and I feel uncomfortable with it. I really want to do my own work, but I also don't want to feel like I'm the outsider. By being honest about her feelings, while still showing empathy for her peers, she opens the door to understanding. Some classmates might actually respect her for it, and maybe even reflect on their own actions. Now, if she is not ready for that kind of conversation, a compromising style might be a way. That shows she still wants to be part of the group, just in a healthier way. What Emma should avoid is accommodating, silently going along with something she doesn't believe in or avoiding pretending there's no issue at all. Those might feel easier at the moment, but over time, they damage self-respect and allow unethical behavior to grow. So, to wrap it all up, Emma's situation is a classic example of peer pressure versus personal values. She knows what's right, but doing the right thing often comes with risk. Still, upholding honesty and integrity will serve her not only in school, but in life. If she communicates her stance with courage and respect, she might lose approval from some classmates, but she'll gain something more important, self-respect and the trust of those two. So, let's break into scenario number 2. Let's take a look at Alex's situation. He's in a group project where the rest of the team expects him to take on more than his fair share of the work. The group is close and values teamwork, while Alex prefers to work on his own. Now, he's feeling overwhelmed and unsure whether to go along with the group or speak up. So, let's begin with the first question. What ethical standards should Alex consider? The key ethical standard here is fairness. In any group project, every member should contribute equally or based on each person's strengths and availability. It's unfair for one member to carry more than of the loads unless there's a good reason and they agree to it. Alex also needs to balance responsibility, both to his team and to himself. While teamwork matters, so does not burning out or being taken advantage of. When personal preferences like Alex desire to work independently clash with group expectations, open communication becomes important to keep group dynamics healthy and respectful. Now, question 2. Should Alex conform or assert his preferences? This really depends on how extreme the workload imbalance is. If it's slightly more work and he's okay with it, he might conform for the sake of harmony. But if he's truly overwhelmed, he should respectfully assert his limits. If he chooses to conform, the likely type of conformity will be compliance, meaning he goes along with it to avoid conflict or to be accepted. Even though he disagrees internally, he doesn't appear to believe it's fair, but he may feel pressured to do more. Moving on to the third question. Why would Alex take on more work if he does? Most likely, it's compliance. He might want to avoid tension, keep the peace, or gain the group's approval. There's no indication that he truly believes it's the right thing to do, so it's probably not internalization. And while he may not want to belong, it doesn't seem like he identifies closely with the group's values either. So, it's probably not identification. It's mostly about avoiding conflict and staying accepted. Finally, the fourth question. What conflict management style should Alex use? The best approach here is collaborating. This means having an honest and respectful discussion with his group. You could say something like, I want this project to go well, but I'm feeling overwhelmed with the amount of work I've taken on. Can we revisit how we're dividing things up? It shows maturity and helps the team function better. So, in summary, Alex should aim for fairness and avoid simply complying under pressure, and speak up using a collaborative approach. That way, he protects his well-being while still supporting the group's success. And that's all for the video. Thank you.